आता जागृत भारत पक्ष विषयाचे सादरीकरण करेल. माननीय पंतप्रधान सारा शेख यांना मी विनंती करतो की त्यांनी आपला विषय मांडावा.
Good morning. I am indeed delighted to be with the Honorable Speaker, members of this House, and everyone present over here. I, the Prime Minister of Jagrut Bharat Party, today I am addressing the most important topic: social quotient is new wealth. Social quotient measures your ability to build a network of friends and maintain it over a long period of time. It's not just a skill but a necessity in today's world, both for our mental well-being and country's development. India has a lot more to offer and has many creative minds. Here, our task is to uphold them through awareness in society. Previously, social bondings between people were strong. There were joint families. Family members had to listen to their elders. Therefore, tolerance power amongst the children was there. Cultural programs were held. People communicated well. Today, all this is happening. But actually, the scene is that social media is making us unsocial. And also, the cultural programs were held. And people used to go to each other's homes and give invitation cards. But today, everything is digital. Then the people were more emotionally intelligent and mainly shared trusted bonds. Today, we may have many friends on social media, but not a single one to whom we can pour our hearts and be free to share our feelings. These things set a lot of challenges for young people in order to make the most out of the world. And these bonds and skills developed in children through their families and communities. So, there was no need to be taught this separately. Honorable Speaker, social intelligence has become now more important than ever before. There are multiple problems the society is facing due to lack of social quotient skills. I'll be introducing some aspects where society, the social quotient, is influenced by. Loneliness is the major problem for many teens. Also, today's youth sounds more rude, feels too much over small problems, and reacts more. This is due to the mental stress they are going through, academic or emotional. But they are unable to speak their hearts and is stressed over little things due to the lack of conversation on dinner tables and four walls of the classroom. It's really hard for the youth to open up and share what they're going through. Maybe due to lacking in understanding behaviors. For example, say you're new in school. There are already formed groups. Some are willing to directly accept you, but some may not. And if you understand what type of person they are and what you need to do to get mixed in them, it's not a big deal for you to be the supreme paramount there. Many children who are very intelligent often lead to back foot in their teenage years and get into depression. Yeah, it's a bitter truth. And this is because they have no skills how to interact with different minds. Remember, there are different types of people coming from different directions. While teens value independence, it shows that social understanding is still developing in them. They are forming strong group identities and priorities to which they are loyal. I think teenage years are the most crucial in all because this is the time when they are going to shape their future. Second, can social quotient keep people together? Lack of social emotional intelligence leading to divorce. All the interpersonal skills come up here. Problem solving, communication, conflict management are the skill set which the socially emotionally intelligent people have to develop good relations. The trust and emotional bond is lacking somewhere. So are the skills. Just like Snapchat, you have to send a snap to each other within 24 hours in order to make a streak. Even one of us forgets to send, the streak will break. Same as in relations, if we are unable to communicate or resolve things within correct time, relations will break. Absence of social quotient can lead to criminal behavior. A study on criminals in prison itself of Hotwa Central Jail, Ranchi and Jharkhand by Mangal Emotional Intelligence Inventory was done. It resulted that some criminals responsible for murder, rape, robbery were with poor self-control, less conversation, Moreover, impulsivity, suicidal thoughts, that means, and are common among the criminals because they were less likely to build harmonious relations with people and hence created negative perspectives towards the people and the community. Poor problem solving skills later lead to greater aggression, leading to crimes. Fourth is social quotient in leadership. Here comes various aspects like self-management, social awareness, where you should know to read the different faces and minds in the environment to understand what they want and what you have to give. Then is building a circle of safety, moving from me to we. If people feel safe among the people in the work environment, we are more relaxed and are willing to work with cooperation. It's correctly said by Simon Sinek that when the people have to manage dangers from inside the organization itself becomes less able to face dangers from outside. Dangers from inside here means competition within people and fear to pull down each other. Again, essential is building trust. When those kinds of bonds are formed, a strong foundation is laid for the success and development of the team and country, which no amount of money or the corrupt leaders can buy. Leading is social in nature, and hence the idea of the need to learn SQ is a force which brings people together to work productively with unity. I believe that you don't have to wait to be an adult to lead, but like a child also has the ability to transform the world by his or her vision. Malala took up the UN stage at 16. Message for today's children is that you don't have to be as old as Malala to be the leader. Then, when we say that someone's SQ is good, we mean that person is good at communication, negotiation, has good tolerance, is a good team player, gets along well with people, has good leadership skills, is empathetic, and so on. And obviously, when such a person is out in the market, he will do well. As an employer or an employee, as an entrepreneur or a salary or a wage employee. Whatever he does, wherever he goes, he is ought to succeed. And also, joy and fulfillment. Everything comes from social interactions. We are social animals, and hence we need it and have to rely on our friends, and that skill is desperately lacking. All these are the interrelated challenges the country is facing right now. And we are in the effort how best and systematically we can sustain quotient in our education system to come up with these barriers who are day by day lending a hand in ruining our global peace. Today, many NGOs like Unnati Yuva are working for the empowerment of economically backward students, helping them select the skill set according to their interest. NCS, National Citizen Service, is a specially designed government-backed program for 15 to 17-year-olds. It aims to engage, unite, build confidence in young people. It promotes more interconnected society by mixing participants of different backgrounds. Honorable Speaker, therefore, our moreover focus will be on children from where we are going to develop this type of society. And as we all know, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. We believe schools are the greatest and effective way to build that abilities, and so we will be focusing morely on schools. We'll develop an integrated curriculum which will focus on their mental, emotional, and social well-being, which will be practiced in every government school, helping them grow as responsible individuals and significant change makers. Because today's children, privileged or unprivileged, are the future of our country, and only when they stand together, our country will truly progress. Mental well-being lecture thrice a week till 8th class, like a subject will be taught. Mainly, in this lecture, we want children to open up, share their thoughts with their teachers and friends. From particular schools, mentor teachers would be assigned for the subject. The curriculum will include stories which would convince them how the behavior of prestige-based rather than dominance, a friendly power holder will gain valuable response from a community. Adding such things should not even cause more pressure for children, as increased school timings, more HW given due to not able to complete portion, We'll ask teachers to deduct 10 to 15% of syllabus and utilize that time for this. Inspired by Delhi education model, where government schools in Delhi have already reduced 25% till 8th class, and it didn't affect much children's education. Above 8th, employability, entrepreneurship, business skills will be taught. Conducting different clubs on Saturdays will be mandatory. We would also include CE, that is contemplate education, that is set of practices that would foster particular forms of awareness in students through meditation practices. In every government school, as it's been resulted that this positively influences student success by increasing cognitive functioning and emotional regulation. For the youth and adults, the Smile Foundation, the organizations like Smile 20 Learning Program has trained over 32,000 youth in soft skills in English proficiency. Collaboration with NGOs that work in this will also be the part of our initiative. And because of all this, not only people will live happy lives but mentally wealthy ones, which will eventually decrease the crime rates. Also, we want the children to be heard. We want adults to be empathetic towards youngsters and them to be empathetic towards the adults. It's not a quick or drastic change that will happen, but we are sure, as all buildings start with a foundation, our agenda to socially, mentally develop a country will take time but is possible through good governance. Thank you.
यानंतर प्रश्नोत्तरांची वेळ सुरू होत आहे. पक्षाच्या नावाची घोषणा केल्यानंतर त्याच पक्षाच्या प्रतिनिधीने आपला प्रश्न विचारावा. कृपया शांतता राखावी. विजडम इंडिया पक्ष, कृपया हात वर करावा.
तुम्ही गव्हर्नमेंट स्कूलमध्येच हे इम्प्लिमेंट करणार आहात की प्रायव्हेट स्कूल्समध्ये पण?
धन्यवाद. जनाधार भारत पक्ष, हात वर करा. कृपया हात वर करावा.
My question goes this way, that you said that you want the children to be heard, right? In the specific period in which you're cutting down 10 to 15% of the academic portion. So my question is that after a while, like when a child expresses his or her problems 2 to 3 times, after a while, won't they start feeling like they're having too many problems and this and that? Won't that come into the picture as well?
धन्यवाद. भारत विकास पक्ष, हात वर करावा.
यात समाज पण एक खूप मोठी रोल प्ले करत आहे सोशल क्वेश्चन डेव्हलप करायला. तर तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये सोसायटीमध्ये काय डेव्हलपमेंट कराल हा मुद्दा मांडलेला नाही आहे.
धन्यवाद. कृपया खासदारांनी आपले नाव पण सांगावे प्रश्न विचारायच्या आधी. भारत समन्वय पक्ष,
So my name is Asta Mahesh Dabade, and my question is, people who make the mess here, they live probably in foreign countries, but after returning again, they behave same way. So is this lack of social quotient or a failure of government, and how can you overcome for it?
धन्यवाद. भारत परिमाण पक्ष,
नमस्कार, मी सुमित भक्ते. माननीय पंतप्रधान, मला क्वेश्चन आहे, तुम्ही सोशल मीडियापासून लोकांना दूर कसं कराल?
धन्यवाद. सर्वांचे प्रश्न विचारून झाले आहेत. माननीय पंतप्रधानांनी उत्तर द्यावीत अशी मी त्यांना विनंती करतो.
First question was that only government schools and or private schools, that only government schools this will be implemented, but we think that when the infrastructure also of the schools will be done good, and will apply this knowledge and skills in our schools, this system, then private schools will also adapt this system, and parents will be more willing to take admissions in government schools for the children. Then what will you develop in society? Something question was there. Society, right? Children and everyone living over here is in society, and when the children's mindset will be developed, eventually it will be doing good for the society, right? आणि अजून एक प्रश्न असा होता की सोशल मीडियापासून दूर कसं करणार. तर मग सोशल मीडियापासून दूर करणं हा उपाय नाही आहे, आणि आम्ही वी आर नॉट टर्मिंग इट ॲज गुड ऑर बॅड सोशल मीडिया, बिकॉज वी आर जस्ट टेलिंग दॅट हाऊ इट इज इन्फ्लुएन्सिंग and how it is influencing the social quotient topic.
People who make the mess here, means in India, they live properly in foreign countries, but after returning again in India, they behave the same way. So is this lack of social quotient or a failure of government, and how will you overcome it?
It's not any of the government's task, I guess.
धन्यवाद. माननीय पंतप्रधानांची उत्तरे देऊन झाली आहेत. आता ज्यांनी प्रश्न विचारले आहेत त्या 5 खासदारांनी कृपया उभे राहावे. कृपया शांतता पाळावी. आता माननीय पंतप्रधान आणि खासदार यांना एकत्रित चर्चेसाठी 3 मिनिटांचा अतिरिक्त कालावधी देण्यात येत आहे. कृपया शांतता पाळावी. आता माननीय पंतप्रधान आणि खासदार यांना एकत्रित चर्चेसाठी 3 मिनिटांचा अतिरिक्त कालावधी देण्यात येत आहे. कृपया चर्चेस सुरुवात करावी.
Can you get your topic, please?
Yes, I just want to say that my question was not answered properly.
What was your question? Can you please elaborate that?
Yeah. So you said that you will be cutting down 10 to 15% of academic portion to free up time for students to sit down in their class and talk with their peers and the teachers and express their problems, right? So my question is, 2 or 3 times they'll do this, okay. But after that, won't they start feeling insecure about the fact that only they are having problems, right? You can't just get people to go and express. It's not something like tomorrow you can't just go and tell a student, go and express. You can't tell them that. It's more of like you have to inculcate the mentality that yes, this is a secure place, I can talk. And after a while, how can you just keep on encouraging them that whatever problems you have, you can talk? The insecurity that only I am having insecurities can also be a factor. You didn't even, the question was not even answered, if I'm honest.
So basically you said that they are going to sit and it's not like that. They are not just going to sit and communicate with and share their problems. And one more thing is that why will they share their problems? And they feel that we only have the problems or insecurities. But when we share the problems, we eventually feel better, and it with our friends and all. And that lecture will be not only about, it will be about how to express yourself effectively wherever you go. That skills will be taught, and that skills means your behavior and your impact. That skills will be taught. That is just not about that we are going to sit together and have conversations, right? That.
No. Siddharth Kulkarni, sir.
Go ahead.
So again, you said behavior and impact, right? That is nowhere related to conversation. And isn't sharing of problems just conversation?
It is related. It is interrelated.
Can you just explain to me how it's related?
Conversation, right? Like I'm conversating with you, and if I converse effectively with you, it will be a good impact, right? Same.
तुम्ही प्रश्न विचारला त्याचं प्रतिप्रश्न. मुलांना ॲक्च्युली त्यांच्याबद्दल गव्हर्नमेंट सेक्टरमध्ये अवेअरनेस नाही आहे, कारण ते व्यसनीय गोष्टींमध्येच जास्त गुंतलेले असतात.
परत एकदा घ्या.
मुलांना ॲक्च्युली त्यांच्याबद्दल गव्हर्नमेंट सेक्टरमध्ये अवेअरनेस नाही आहे, कारण ते व्यसनीय गोष्टींमध्येच जास्त गुंतलेले असतात.
बट हे बघा, प्रॉब्लेम ऑलरेडी आयडेंटिफाईड आहे, त्याच्यासाठी मिनिस्ट्रीज फॉर्म आहेत वगैरे, पण ते इम्पॅक्टफुली it is not getting implemented that impactfully, and we are sure that we are specific about what changes we have to make, and so our government will do that for sure. Thank you.
धन्यवाद. चर्चेचा वेळ समाप्त झालेला आहे. आता सत्ताधारी पक्षाने आपला ठराव सदनासमोर मांडावा.
It is our responsibility to prepare our young people so that they can thrive in this new economy. We will include a subject of mental well-being till 8th and employability and social employability, entrepreneurship, business skills above 8th. Skills and emotional intelligence book will be designed as a reference book for the teachers. Contemplate education would be practiced in schools. We are pretty sure reducing syllabus will not hamper children's education and will pay attention that these plans will be implemented effectively and with full of dedication. Thank you.
धन्यवाद. आपल्या मतदानाची वेळ सुरू होत आहे. हा ठराव 6 विरुद्ध 17 मताने नामंजूर झाला असे आम्ही जाहीर करतो. मी माननीय सभापतींना विनंती करतो की त्यांनी सत्ताधारी पक्षाने मांडलेल्या विषयाबद्दल मार्गदर्शन करावे.
शांतता. Honorable Prime Minister Sara Shaikh, I think the members of the parliament did not vote in your favor mainly because you did not define the problem itself properly. A definition of social intelligence, social quotient should have been done in a better way so that everybody understands what you want to say. Whatever things you have in mind might be very good. However, unless people understand what the Prime Minister wants to say, they will never be in your favor. There were a couple of questions which were interesting. I am very happy that most of the people who asked questions, they understood what the problem is, what the subject is. Probably it is tough for many people to understand what you have been interacting with. The question was, number one was little funny to me, whether it will be implemented in government schools or private schools. Schools are schools. Whether they are government or private, it has no concern with education. Who pays the salary of the system is not a question of the children or the parents. The parents only have to pay different fees if the school is private, that's all. So education remains same whether it is government school or private school, and as a Prime Minister I would urge upon you that you should look at both the schools in the same way. Give them whatever you want, ask them to implement whatever your proposal is, whether it is government or private has no meaning to them. The second question asked by Siddharth was probably misunderstood by you, and he was also unable to put it properly. What I understood, his question was, त्यांचं म्हणणं असं असावं की एखाद्या मुलाने परत परत प्रश्न विचारले आणि त्यासाठी तुम्ही वेळ काढून ठेवलात तर दोन गोष्टी होऊ शकतात. एक तर विनाकारण प्रश्न विचारायला लागतोय म्हणून तो निर्माण करेल इमॅजिनरी प्रश्न. हे त्याचं पहिलं म्हणणं होतं जेव्हा त्यांनी प्रश्न विचारला तेव्हा. परंतु नंतर एक्सप्लेनेशन करताना त्यांनी तो वेगळ्या पद्धतीने मांडला. तो पण बरोबर आहे, ती पण पद्धत की तुम्ही प्रश्न एखाद्या माणसाला विचारलेत आणि तो जर प्रश्न सांगू शकला तर उद्या त्या माणसाला असं वाटायला लागेल की अरेच्या मलाच प्रश्न आहेत, बाकी जगात कोणाला नाहीत का. I think both the things are very important. If you give time and ask people to ask questions, they may frame questions and ask you. That will be bad. Imaginary प्रश्नांची उत्तरं देणं सरकारला अशक्य होईल. आणि एखाद्याला असं वाटू लागलं की प्रश्न मलाच आहेत इतर कोणालाच नाहीत, ते पण अतिशय वाईट आहे. प्लीज रिमेंबर, social quotient is a thing. Actually आपण डिफाईन करतानाच सोशल इंटेलिजन्स प्रॉपरली डिफाईन जर केला. डू यू अंडरस्टँड युअर सेल्फ? कॅन यू अंडरस्टँड अदर्स? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन विच मस्ट बी प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टूड बाय ऑल. आणि मी स्वतःलाच समजावून घेत नसल्यामुळे इतरांना समजावून घेत नाही आहे का? का मी स्वतःला अतिशय कोणीतरी सुपरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स किंवा अशा कॉम्प्लेक्समध्ये आहे म्हणून मी इतरांना समजून घेत नाही आहे का? या गोष्टी जोपर्यंत तुम्हाला समजावून घेता येत नाहीत आणि इतरांना समजावून सांगता येत नाहीत तोपर्यंत त्या लेवलला येणं अवघड आहे. आणि एकदा इगो नावाचा प्रश्न, अहम मान्यता, अहंगंड, I hope you understand, even if I talk in Marathi. If ego is introduced in the system, no MP will vote in favor of you if they are not from your party. And therefore, the problem when you did not put any resolution to pass. I was surprised. You said what you want to do, but there was no resolution. When whatever you framed, you were asked to propose a resolution, you did not propose a resolution. And I do not know how people have voted for it, in favor or against, because there was no resolution. You have just stated what you wanted to do. That is not a proposal. I think this is all that I would like to say. Maybe there was one funny thing which I listened to. The lady here was probably asking you, the people who stay in foreign countries, come back to India, they probably mislead. I do not know how some MP has developed that kind of understanding about people. It is true that there is a vast difference in the way people live outside the advanced countries or backward countries. There are many countries which are far behind us economically, and there are many countries which are far ahead of us economically. It is very, very difficult for us to understand whether the person who has come from underdeveloped country or an advanced country and how they will behave here. It is individual behaviors we will not be in a position to tackle with as a political party, but at root level, at individual level, it could be resolved. Social media was another question which was asked to you. You said social media, whether it is good or bad, you don't bother about it, you are just trying to say. But if you had defined the problem properly, this question would have been answered by itself. Anyway, thank you, the Prime Minister, for making a proposal and doing it. Thanks all the members.
धन्यवाद.